I've turned into a bit of a space-time continuum nerd. I'm Joe Joyner, a creative director, designer from East London. The workplace, I imagine in 50 years' time, will be a very different place. There'll be a point in time where, as work demands get faster and faster and people want more and more, there'll be a crash of people not being able to manage this time. And I think there'll be a point where we'll be able to harness and manage time better to our advantage to be able to kind of get a better work-life balance. It was basically straight to the storyboard after I had my initial concept. So I kind of did my doodles and then straight onto the Mate View. My work is usually quite colourful and Mate View is just beautiful when it comes to the colours that it displays. As soon as I started adding colour to my piece, it just kind of came alive. And I wanted to bring across that positive message in the landscape, so I just added more and more colour until kind of, yeah, it was just kind of really singing. So my animation and the world that I've created, we can compress a multitude of tasks into a short period of time to then allow the user to then live their life outside of that more freely. So something that would usually take an entire day can literally take a moment in kind of this hypersleep world that I kind of envisaged in the piece. I think when it came to the design of the character, I think that was almost the hardest bit to imagine, because it's what are we gonna like and what we're gonna enjoy in 50 years' time. With the whole kind of social media generation, it seems like everyone's cool now, that everyone's got kind of access to all of these cool things. So even kind of everyday people are kind of elevating their style and things to like new levels. So I decided to build quite an edgy character in that sense. When I'm working on animation with a high level of detail, the Mate View just has a much higher resolution. You can just squeeze so much more in and such a high level of detail, which is, when you're working on things that I work on, it's so essential. In the PC industry, at least, there's a lot of really ugly design out there. And it's just so nice to have something on the desktop that is sleek and minimal and kind of doesn't really shout at me too much, which is not necessarily what you need when you're designing all this other stuff on the screen itself. The main message that I wanted to communicate was just about taking time for yourself. I know myself, I'm my own worst enemy when it comes to not taking holidays and kind of working into the night kind of over and over again. And it does get tiring, and I think is quite damaging in some way. So I think if anything from this piece, people can take that a sense of time and a sense of time for yourself, I think that's a good thing.